to try to make all your heartbreaks go away because we need them. I am going to try to help you have less of the self-inflicted heartbreaks.
2 months ago, I would have said that the greatest influence in my life, I would have given you a list of great books and great teachers and great mentors. Today, I will tell you that the greatest influence in my life have been my heartbreaks. Over a 30-year period, I sort of became an expert at broken hearts. I went through a divorce and a bankruptcy and a broken back, and we lost a child in a late-stage miscarriage. And my sister died, and my first wife, and my mom to Alzheimer's, and my dad to cancer. And every one of these heartbreaks, different aspects of this process, I discovered through my unwillingness to stop being. And so what happened in this last event, in the birth of the Warrior Heart Project, was 30 years of my struggling to heal a broken heart were synthesized, and all of the pieces and all of the components came together. I was kind of cruising through Facebook, and I saw a post about the martial arts. The martial arts world has been lessened today. And having spent 20 years in that world, I dug a little bit deeper, and I found a tribute page. And it turned out that it was a really good friend of mine and a mentor, and probably from age 30 to 40, he had as big an impact on my career as anyone. And then about an hour later, I got a phone call from one of our peers, and he told me that it was suicide. And he was 55 years old, he had a beautiful wife, a 6-year-old child, and I just remember, it's like a baseball bat, just hitting you right in the gut. And I had a live radio show the next morning. I'd been on a program for a year as America's coach, and I couldn't go and do what I normally did. And I have a really good rapport with Adam, who's the host, and I said, Adam, I need to grieve. Would you let me do this on the air? And I don't think he knew what to say. And we had this incredible conversation. We posted it online, and within a day got feedback from all over the country. And that was a switch. I knew that something important had started to happen, but I was still in too much anger and rage, and I was sort of pacing around the house, and Robin, who knows me really well, said, honey, you need to get out. You need to get back into nature. You need to go heal. And my best friend was going to Yosemite that weekend, and he said, you got to come out here. And I haven't been spontaneous like that in a couple years. I've been very driven and very on task, and I just said, screw it, I'm going. And I left home very angry, and I left home demanding answers. I don't know if I was challenging God, or I don't know if I was challenging myself, but I was not going to come home without answers. And I got there a full day ahead of my friend, and I wanted to go on a hike, and I pulled out the map, and Yosemite Falls is one of the longest, kind of one of the more aggressive hikes, and I said, that's what I'm going to do. And so I packed a picnic lunch, and I just started, really hammering up this mountain. And then I realized that the last time I had been on this trail was 21 years ago, this very weekend, with my first wife. She was pregnant. I didn't know she was pregnant. And that night at the Ahwahnee Hotel, she gave me baby boots telling me that our daughter was going to be born. And, and my first wife has since died. And so I carried that heartbreak with me up the mountain. My question was, God, why do you break our hearts? Why do you break our hearts? And the answer was, because you've walled yourself off from me. And the only way I can get back in is to break your heart.
What I'm going to ask of you guys tonight is to drive your consciousness a little bit deeper. And we're going to try to come from a more heart-centric place than an intellectual place.
The birth of the Warrior Heart Project was my healing process and my opening process. When we're hit with that initial shock, when we're hit with that heartbreak, it's natural to recoil. And what happens is, unless you know how to heal, and unless you know how to grieve and love again, your heart's capacity to engage shrinks and shrinks and shrinks.
There's nothing more heartbreaking than meeting someone who doesn't see the miracle that they are?
I looked back at the last 30 years of my life as a coach, and I have had profound impacts on certain people. And I have gone to other people with the same technology and the same information and their same stated desire, and I've had no impact on their life. And so now when I meet a client or a company or a person who is stuck, it has nothing to do with their knowledge. It has nothing to do with their information. We have to embrace the heartbreak. We have to create a process where they can grieve and heal and open again, and it's through that opening that allows us to access possibilities. That's what the Warrior Heart Project is.
My objective is to spark something in all of you, to create a level of passion and purpose that sometimes is fading or has faded.
I look around me and I see and feel so much pain in everyone's heart. And what are we doing to mask the pain? We're doing too much alcohol, too much drugs, too much shopping, too much exercise, too much Prozac. The only thing that hurts worse than a broken heart is a heart that's been closed off from love. And what we've been taught culturally is that if you do enough of the right things, you will get love. And so we spend our days trying to become prettier or smarter or wealthier. We do all of these things for that experience. The problem with that paradigm or that belief system is that when I am acting for love, by definition, I'm not in it. Love is outside of me. It's an ingraspable, it's an intangible. If I spend enough time out of love, I will be in so much pain it will ultimately become unbearable. And if I have the perfect life, if I have all the trappings of what success looks like, and I'm still empty, then that's ultimate pain. That's hell. And that's why we see people that we think have everything kill themselves. The shift is when we recognize that we are the source of love. That love doesn't occur outside of ourselves. Love flows from within, from this bottomless well of knowledge and joy and compassion and power. And so when I act from love, when I'm with you and loving you, I don't care about your response. You can love me back, you can not love me, you can walk away, you can engage. The pressure is gone, and the manipulation is gone, and the disappointment because you didn't respond to my love in the way I expected.
I want you to take a look at your heart. I want you to feel your heart as being completely healed. And feel your heart open, and feel your heart accessible.
The Warrior Heart Project is intended to balance energies. It's the even if you look at the artwork, the warrior heart is meant to be very male, very female. It is a union of the energies. And I look around at the world, and after 10,000 years of male dominance, we have screwed it up. And until and unless we are able to embrace the balance of male and feminine energy and honor what's beautiful about both of those and not trying to make one less or worse, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. So this is a journey for all of us, and it's a harmonizing of the intellect and the heart, and that's where wisdom is born. Every person that walks in the door will experience an opening. And it's important to recognize that I don't want someone whose heart's been closed off for 10 years to come in and just go, woohoo, because it's too much. We have to bring people in a progression where they feel safe and they feel trust. The more your heart is open, the more I can open it safely and the more we can experience. But every person who walks into this workshop tonight will have an opening and will have a connection. What you and I are experiencing, every person in the room will know what that feels like. And my intention is once you've had that, you won't go back.
I want to find the purpose in life, or my purpose in life, you know? I mean, I know we've all had trauma and heartbreak and these things, but yeah, I want to contribute.
I love it, and I want to come back again and actually spread the word.
I'm always learning something new, you know, remembering certain things, and it brings me back home.
I think that you find energy and fulfillment when you're around others that are of like mind.
I had the most incredible experience, just kind of into myself and how I can help myself better.
On a conscious level, we need to get the humankind more involved.
As he talks about in his seminar, if you don't develop a warrior heart, then you burn yourself out.
Treat people like human beings and let them know they're worthy, or, you know, because we don't all walk around alone. We're all here to experience life together.